and that's why cybersecurity as a profession, as an industry came into the picture, that while we are utilizing Industry 4.0, we should be aware that how can we safeguard our data, right? And from Industry 4.0 to Industry 5.0, it didn't take much of time, hardly 10 years. The reason was we wanted to make everything human-centric and sustainable. So when I say human-centric and sustainable, so I think there was one misconception which I thought, which I heard here was, Industry 4.0 was never eliminating human work. In short, so let me put it this way, it might sound maybe controversial. We say that AI will take up people's jobs, right? AI will not take up people's job. People who know how to use AI will take people's job. Okay. For example, ChatGPT has not taken anyone's job, but the person who understands what prompt engineering is, how they can leverage ChatGPT for their daily work, will take up their job, because the efficiency increases, right? If you are writing an email, and I heard a conversation between ma'am, writing a paper, ChatGPT will give you that answer, that what needs to be written in your research paper, because it has a lot of information. But how would you make that human aspect or human element into paper? For that, you need to train ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will be trained when you understand what prompt engineering is. You have to give them prompt. You have to give ChatGPT a prior work, that this is my authentic prior work. Learn what is my tool. Learn what kind of language I use, because not everyone has same vocabulary. Let's understand it, right? So when you train ChatGPT and now then you say ChatGPT, you are Rachna, and now this is the paper which I have accumulated, but you have to convert it the style of my writing. Then you will get the most approximate answers, right? So Industry 4.0 might have done automation, but the automation was more repetitive, where people were not using their brains, right? Just putting a stamp on a paper, multiple paper. It doesn't require the human labor, that can be automated. But when we speak about Industry 5.0, it is not about saving job. It is about bringing the human element into the picture. And when I say human element, because human are the smartest species. Even now when the robot comes, they are learning from us using artificial intelligence, right? And there could be, I would say, space or area where robot can make mistake, or robot does not have empathy. So when I say human-centric, that empathy needs to be inbuilt. So once we have achieved greater heights using Industry 4.0, we are going back to the basics. We are saying, robot, please, okay, you need to learn empathy. You need to learn what is my environment, how important my environment is, how I can make it sustainable. Innovation continues, but I don't want to continue innovation on risk of my environment or empathy, because we know what drawbacks it can bring, right? So that is the primary difference between 4.0 and 5.0. I'll just take a pause to take any questions on this slide. Okay, perfect. So just giving an example of human-machine collaboration, and I think we'll discuss this case study. In hospitals, doctors do surgery, right? Robots can't do surgery. They can, but then they will not be able to evaluate. If I'm training a robot, they will do surgery. They will say, okay, 96% is the probability that the patient will be saved. But robot will never have that empathy to make it success. It will just calculate, right? So how can I use the digitalization, smart manufacturing for the surgeons so that they practice it in such a way that their efficiency or success rate increases? So using AR, VR training now, and specifically for you because you are in L&D, if I provide AR, VR training from practical perspective to a surgeon, if a surgeon can practice on an AR, VR model multiple times, their precision goes higher. They don't need to practice on a dead body anymore. And that's where the chances of saving comes in along with the empathy, because doctor will never say, okay, it's 96% probability this patient will be saved, I don't care about 4%. Doctor will put in 100% knowing 96% is the probability, right? So, now going forward, since we have understood the basic difference, we'll cover key elements of Industry 4.0. So I think we have established that 4.0 is primarily focused on automation and digitalization. And how we have done automation and digitalization using Industry 4.0 is using the key elements of 4.0. And what are key elements? Internet of Things we have already spoke about. Cyber security we have spoke about. Cloud computing we have spoke about. Big data. There was, I think, 5-10 years prior, it was huge news in that data is oil. Why data is oil? Because oil is expensive. We import oil. We import oil from Saudi, we import oil from Russia, and depending on how macroeconomic environment is, generally oil is very costlier for us. And that's what the data is. Data is oil. Right now, whoever has the data can mine money out of it. Whoever started consolidating data, producing, what is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is AI, but again at the end it is using a lot of data. It has the lot of ways to recommend you something, to help you out. So without data, no new technology can be driven. Let's be understandable of that fact. And then simulation, as I said, when you reiterate one thing again and again in an environment, not in a reality, but in an environment, so that you become more efficient and precise. So, and the autonomous robots comes into the picture. So these are key elements of Industry 4.0, and we'll discuss this in detail in next slide. So what happened if we are using all these key elements? Generally in our industry, when we say practical application, what is the benefit? Benefit is, if I am automating something, a human will take 1 hour, maybe doing hundreds of paper stamp. Machine will be faster. So my work will be done in a faster way. So that's why the efficiency increases, right? And I can use that particular labor for some other work. So the productivity also increases. Second, cost saving. Machine, I might have to do some fixed cost when I'm deploying a machine, but at a longer period of time, that machine will be less costlier for me. The reason I don't have to train machine, the machine will not leave me, and machine will do more work. So if I calculate per hour effort of a machine, it will be better than a human for a repetitive task. So it will be definitely cost saving. Then enhanced flexibility and customization. So now the era which we are in, even in Industry 4.0, when we are talking about smart manufacturing, there is what we call customization. We can customize this for customer requirement, what industry you want. So your utility industry, the industry who are into power, energy, might require something different from a smart device or a sensor. And it is totally different what a platform like Uber or Amazon will want, right? So those are customized also. And it also improves product quality, because again, if a human is doing some job, stamp can be in middle, right, left. Machine will do exactly where you have allocated the space. So this the quality enhances, right? And for example, especially in manufacturing, if what is the impact of quality? We all buy some automobile, right? Either bike or car, and we have seen news coming in कि ये defect आ गया, वो defect आ गया. If you are using smart manufacturing, the probability of defects go down. So you don't. So ultimately, it is related to cost, right? If my customer is not returning me my automobile, my quality is good and I am not losing money. Otherwise, I have to give customer another car.